Hi everyone, welcome back to Radio Night Crime. Before you drift off, let me know in the comments where you're listening from. If you're enjoying the stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's relax and jump into tonight's story. Tonight, we begin with a story that lingers like a faint breeze through an empty house. Something you feel but cannot see. Imagine a small town nestled at the edge of a forest where the trees stretch endlessly into the dark, their branches swaying as if sharing a secret. It's said that decades ago, a woman named Clara vanished there, leaving only her scarf tangled into thorns. The townsfolk whispered she'd been taken by the woods themselves, a myth that grew with every rustling leaf. But late at night, when the wind dies down, some swear they hear her voice, a soft, mournful hum drifting from the shadows. No one dares to follow it, for the forest holds its mysteries close, and those who listen too long feel an urge to walk toward it, step by quiet step. Picture yourself standing at the edge of those trees now, the air cool against your skin, the hum fading into a distant echo. It's not a threat, just a call, an invitation to rest among the roots where Clara waits. Let your eyes grow heavy as the forest whispers you to sleep. Our next tale takes us to an old lighthouse perched on a jagged cliff, its beam long extinguished. The keeper, Elias, was a solitary man who tended it for years, until one stormy night when the light went dark and he was gone. Locals say he didn't drown or flee. Something came for him, something that crept from the waves below. Now, on foggy evenings, fishermen report a faint glow from the tower, not electric, but alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. They whisper of a conspiracy among the old sailors, that Elias struck a deal with the sea, trading his soul to keep the light burning forever. If you listen closely, you might hear the waves lapping against the rocks, a rhythm that slows your breath. The glow doesn't frighten them anymore. It's a comfort, a sign that Elias watches still. Feel the mist settle around you, soft and damp, as the sea carries you deeper into the night. In a quiet village far from the coast, there's a house no one enters, its windows boarded up tight. Long ago, a family lived there, until the youngest child began speaking to someone no one could see. At first, it was dismissed as imagination, but the words grew stranger, full of riddles about a door beneath the earth. One morning, the family was gone, the house silent except for a faint tapping from below. The myth says they found that door and stepped through, into a place where time unravels. Now, if you stand near the house at dusk, you might hear it too. A tap, 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 steady as a clock unwinding. It's not loud, just persistent, lulling you into a daze. Imagine the cool grass beneath your feet, the sound fading as the village slips away. Whatever lies beneath calls softly, promising rest beyond the door. We drift now to a desert road, endless and sun-bleached, where travelers once spoke of a figure in the distance. She appeared as a woman in white, her face obscured, standing still as the heat shimmered around her. Those who stopped to help found her gone, but their cars wouldn't start again until nightfall. The conspiracy grew that she wasn't human, but a trap, set by something older than the sands, a guardian of secrets buried deep below. Her presence isn't menacing, just patient, watching as the sun dips low. Feel the warmth fade from your skin, the stars emerging one by one. She doesn't speak, but her silence wraps around you, heavy and calm, pulling you into the desert's embrace. The final story of this part lingers in a city attic, where an old radio sits untouched. Years ago, A man tuned it late at night and heard a voice, not a broadcast, but a whisper, calling his name. He listened for hours, entranced, until his wife found him staring blankly, the radio silent. Some say it was a myth, a ghost in the wires. Others claim it's a signal from somewhere else, testing who will answer. Now, the attic stays locked, but on quiet nights, a faint static hum seeps through the floorboards. Imagine lying beneath that sound, the buzz softening your thoughts. It's not a warning, just a murmur, coaxing you to let go as the city fades into stillness. We return to midnight rituals with a tale that begins where dreams blur into shadow. Picture a lake surrounded by mist, so thick it swallows the horizon. Locals call it the mirror, for it reflects nothing, not the sky, not your face. Long ago, a fisherman rowed out and never returned, though his boat washed ashore empty, oars neatly crossed. The myth says something lives beneath, something that mimics voices to lure the curious. At night, faint calls drift across the water, names, pleas, whispers, soft enough to soothe rather than startle. Stand at the shore in your mind, the mist brushing your cheeks, the voices fading into a gentle hum. Whatever waits below doesn't rush, it simply beckons, patient as the tide, inviting you to drift away. Now, imagine a narrow street in an ancient town, its cobblestones worn smooth by time. There's a clock tower here that hasn't chimed in centuries, yet some swear they hear it toll at midnight. The conspiracy whispers of a pact. The town traded its time to escape a plague, and the clock holds their stolen hours. If you listen, the air grows heavy. Each unheard strike a weight on your chest. Picture the moon above, pale and steady, the silence wrapping around you like a blanket. The tolls don't wake you. They cradle you, counting down to a sleep deeper than the town's forgotten years. Our next story unfolds in a forest clearing where a circle of stones stands untouched by moss. No one knows who placed them, but the air within feels still, as if holding its breath. Legend says a traveler once slept there and woke to find his shadow gone, though he cast none in the sun. The myth claims the stones take something from you, a memory, a fear, leaving you lighter. Lie down among them now, the ground cool beneath you, the trees whispering overhead. There's no terror here, just a quiet exchange, a trade for peace as the night settles in. We move to a coastal cave, its walls glistening with salt. Fishermen avoid it, for they say a figure appears at low tide, a man carved from fog, his eyes hollow. He doesn't speak, but those who see him feel a pull, a longing to follow. The conspiracy murmurs he's a sailor lost to a storm, bound to guard a treasure no one seeks. His presence is cold, yet calming, the waves a steady rhythm against the rocks. Imagine sitting at the cave's mouth, the fog curling around you, his gaze distant but kind. He doesn't demand, he waits, guiding you gently into the dark. This part ends in an abandoned observatory atop a hill, its telescope pointed at a sky it can no longer see. Once, an astronomer charted stars here, until he vanished mid-sketch, leaving a map of constellations that don't exist. Some say he found a truth too vast, a myth of worlds watching us in return. At night, the wind carries a low hum through the broken dome, like a song from beyond. Picture yourself beneath that sky, the hum softening your edges, the stars blurring into dreams. Whatever he saw doesn't chase you, it simply sings, a lullaby from the void. Welcome back to Midnight Rituals, where the night weaves its quiet tales. Imagine a bridge shrouded in fog, its arches barely visible, Years ago, a woman crossed it and never reached the other side, though her lantern still glows faintly in the mist. The myth says she guards the path now, a sentinel for those who stray too far. Drivers report seeing her light, steady and warm, guiding them through the haze. Stand on that bridge in your mind, the fog cool against your face, her glow a soft beacon. She doesn't haunt, she comforts, her light a promise of rest beyond the mist. Next, we enter a small library, its shelves thick with dust. There's a book here no one claims to have shelved, its pages blank except for a single name written in ink, yours. The conspiracy whispers it's a ledger of the lost, kept by something that roams the stacks at night. If you listen, you might hear the rustle of pages turning, slow and deliberate. Picture the dim light flickering overhead, the air heavy with old paper. It's not a threat, just a record, a name calling you to close your eyes and drift away. Our journey takes us to a mountain trail where a hiker once found a cave marked with strange symbols. He camped there, only to wake with no memory of the night before, his journal filled with drawings he didn't recall making. The myth says the cave is a gate watched by spirits who borrow your thoughts. The air hums faintly, a vibration you feel in your bones. Lie down on that rocky floor, the hum steady and low, the symbols fading from view. They don't steal, they borrow, leaving you empty and calm. We shift to a quiet suburb where a house sits dark, its mailbox overflowing. Neighbors say the owner vanished after digging in the yard, uncovering a box he wouldn't show. The conspiracy claims it held proof of a hidden world beneath us, one that took him back. Now, a faint tapping echoes from the ground, rhythmic and soft. Imagine standing above that spot, the grass cool underfoot, the sound lulling you down. It's not urgent, just persistent, a heartbeat from below pulling you into sleep. This park closes in a snowy valley where a lone cabin stands abandoned. A trapper lived there once, until he spoke of voices in the wind, old tongues promising warmth. One winter, he walked into the storm and never returned. The myth says the voices still linger, calling softly through the flakes. Picture the snow falling around you, the whispers blending with the wind, gentle and inviting. They don't demand, they offer, a cold embrace to carry you away. Our final journey with midnight rituals begins beneath a sky streaked with auroras. In a northern village, they say the lights aren't natural, but a curtain between worlds. A child once followed them, returning days later with tales of a city in the glow. The myth claims the lights choose who they take, leaving only footprints in the snow. At night, their hum fills the air, soft and hypnotic. Imagine lying beneath those colors, the hum washing over you, the snow cradling your form. They don't pull, they guide, a dance into the beyond. We drift to a seaside town where an old pier stretches into the fog. Fishermen speak of a bell that rings beneath the waves, heard only when the tide is still. Long ago, a ship sank there, and the conspiracy says its crew rings it to warn or to call. The sound is faint, a chime that slows your pulse. Picture the pier beneath your feet, the fog thick and cool, the bell tolling far below. It's not a summons, just a memory, rocking you gently into the deep. Next, we enter a marshland where will-o-wisps flicker in the reeds. Travelers once followed them only to vanish, their shoes left behind. The myth says they're spirits of the lost, guiding others to join them. Their light sways, a rhythm like breathing, calm and steady. Stand among the reeds now, the air damp, the wisps glowing softly. They don't chase, they lead, a path to rest in the mire's embrace. Our penultimate tale unfolds in a clockmaker's shop, long closed. His final creation ticks backward, and those who hear it dream of lives they never lived. The conspiracy whispers he trapped time itself, hiding it from something that hunts it. The ticking fills the room, slow and even, a heartbeat unwinding. Imagine sitting beside that clock, the hands turning back, the sound easing you down. It doesn't rush, it rewinds, a lullaby of moments lost. We end in a vast plain, where a single tree stands, its branches bare. Legends say it grew from a seed dropped by a traveler from nowhere, whispering of a land beyond the stars. At night, its leaves rustle without wind, a sound like distant voices. Lie beneath it now, the earth firm, the rustle blending with your breath. It's not a call to leave, just a song, a myth to carry you into the night's final veil. Sleep well until we meet again at midnight ritual.